Now, this is a very familiar sight to me because in my spare time, I find delightful beaches absolutely littered with seashells, and I like to go out there and film said seashells. Now, I also like to identify these seashells, so I do my little bit of research on the critters and the shells, and I typically will share that information with you as well. Now, not all the seashells I pick up actually make it into my videos. I like to save the really good ones. And today, there's going to be a lot of good ones. I find a massive colorful moon snail. I find a lacy lace murex. And I find a pretty big honkin' apple murex. And not just big shells. I actually managed to find one of those itty bitty Wenzel traps as well. Where did I find all this amazing stuff? Well, took a boat ride over to Kice Island. So that is where we will be spending our time today. Didn't even make it over to the Gulf side. That's where all the good stuff is. And already I have an angel wing for my shell bag. So if you're ready to see what else is out there for us today, let's go to the beach. Okay, we've established I'm here on Kice Island. This is a pretty big, what I would call a whopper of a lettered olive. That was a gorgeous lettered olive. And we probably will see just a couple of these banded tulips. They are rather ubiquitous down here at Kice. So big old lettered olive. And there's, oh my gosh, so many shells. So this, I would say this is a little bit better than typical. This is early October still when I'm kind of here. That shell I'm holding, that is a hinged spiny jewel box. The spinier, the better. And then this is a very desirable shell to find, an alphabet cone. Now there is a little something kind of stuck on the aperture. The opening of the shell is called the aperture, and I don't want to damage the shell, so I'm going to be careful with that. I'm not just going to kind of yank it out because I could break the shell, and that would be terrible. Got ourselves a lightning whelk as well. Gorgeous. So got ourselves an alphabet cone and a lightning whelk. Starting off pretty good if you ask me. Now it's a little overcast. And that's okay because it keeps the temperatures kind of down, even though this time of year it's starting to kind of turn anyway. So it's early mid-October 2023, and we are here at Kice Island, and it's going to be a really good day. Now, one of the shells I happen to look forward to finding when I come to Kice are these colorful moon snails. We also call these Nauticas for reasons I'm not really sure, to tell you the truth. But those are colorful moon snails. I look forward to them. Kice is a fantastic island to look for those shells. So I am looking for those. And also the lace murex. This is a great example of an apple murex. Oh, it looks like when I went to wash it off, I also found a Florida cone. So that's an apple murex. Lovely little shell. And a really nice looking Florida cone. Those are usually a little bit beat up. So two more awesome looking shells. Ooh, spiny jewel boxes. You know, I was thinking, you know that cheerleading thing, be aggressive, be aggressive. I kind of feel that way about the spiny jewel boxes. Like, go for it. Get those spikes. I think you're beautiful. And this, yeah, I remember this shell because it's just massive. So that, my friends, is a massive apple murex. I do not typically find them that big. It is in great shape for being so big. A lot of times those big shells, now this is just to show you in comparison to the other one I picked up, it's like twice as big. It's huge. And a lot of times the big shells, because they've been out there, they'll chip, they'll fade. You know, the longer you're out there, the more chances that something could happen to you. But that's a lovely apple murex. Woohoo! Now this is also an apple murex, but it's got, I know it's a little orange, and it's kind of not lacy, bumpy. It's a very bumpy apple murex, and I liked that. So again, any of that texture I do I do appreciate all the textures and all the fun things that these shells do. Now, the fun thing about that shell, I realize it's broken. That is a common nutmeg. I like the interior. I like that spiral. That's how a lot of how these shells are created, around kind of a spiral. They start small and they just kind of spiral around and grow their shell. That is a pear whelk. A normal, really actually quite large pear whelk. Nice looking shell. Conversely, we have a tiny little shell, so that's a coffee melampus. It's a tiny little thing. The color's not fantastic on it, but fun to find that little coffee melampus here on Kice. There's the lace murex. So those colorful moon snails and the lace murex seem to be relatively easy to find on Kice for whatever reason. There seems to be ample of that particular shell. Works for me. You will not hear me complaining. Frankly, you're never going to hear me complaining about shells. That is so lacy. Oh, that's really pretty. So absolutely gorgeous lace murex. And a zigzag arc. So an arc is kind of like a family of shells. There's all sorts of different arcs. This one is a turkey wing, also known as a zigzag arc. The arcs are typically kind of one color. So no surprise that's called a zigzag arc. So looking for the sun, not quite up yet. I love being out there first thing in the morning. I think the light is just beautiful. It just makes everything look so ethereal and pretty. So this is the backdrop. This is what's going on around me as I have my head down looking for those seashells. Here we have a top snail. Oh, and a rather, is that a, that's a calico scallop. A little stuff on it. What else is here? Okay, so that is a fly speck seraph. Those tend to trip me up. They look like wintle traps, but they are not. Another top snail. It's got a little bit of stuff on it. That's okay. Has a date with bleach later. That is okay. So there's kind of two rack lines. The tide is rather high right now. Sometimes you can wander around where the water is right now, but the tide's a little high today. It doesn't seem to really matter. So I'm down here in this rack line. A piece of, I don't know, oyster, frond oyster maybe. Okay, what's the next treasure that's going to make me slow down a little? Okay, so that is a colorful moon snail, even though the color, it's not very colorful. It's just kind of, it's a monochromatic colorful moon snail. And that's okay. What do we get? Little drill of some sort. Perhaps a mauve mouth drill, and then a dark seraph. That's another pointy shell. Okay, two more colorful moon snails, and I love examining the differences. The one that's so white, this one that's kind of faded, compared to this one. Holy cow! Super saturated, so gorgeous. And that's what excites me. I mean, like I said, I can pick up that same shell all day long, and it's still going to entertain me. There's still going to be something going on with the shell that's a little different that I like to appreciate. That is a ribbed cantharus. That is also one of my, it looks kind of boxy to me. I don't know, there's something square going on that shell. In my brain, it looks a little square. A horse conch. So that is a lovely little Florida horse conch. That is our state shell. One of the two shells that will get quite large. Not this one. That's about as big as that ribbed cantharus gets. That's that boxy shell I just picked up. Not the same shell, but the same species, just a different shell. Ribbed, no, that is ribbed cantharus. Lace murex. There is this spot on Kice where all the shells are kind of tan. I think I'm in that spot because that shell is beautiful in shape. The color just looks a little weird. It's kind of, they usually aren't really that like tan color. That looks normal. The coloring looks normal. Another lace murex. Yeah, it's pretty lacy. Not quite as spectacular as that one I picked up earlier. Oh man, but still lovely shell. And there's the sun just kind of peeking up. Oh, goodness, that's pretty. Look, there's one green tree out there. It's a survivor. All those other trees were likely invasive and they weren't supposed to be here in the first place. The salt water came up on them, they died, and that's what we got left. This is Kice Island. It is beautiful. If you ever come here, please wear really good shoes. I would almost say work boots. I stub my toe at least 6 times every time I come here. And then this, I call the cone zone. Someone else thought it might be the trip strip. So yeah, definitely, if you go on one of the tours out here, please be careful. My weakness, the Florida fighting conch. And the problem is picking it up. I should just not pick it up. Because then I say, it's so gorgeous, I have to keep it. So that is likely now in my shell bag. Another little horse conch. What a great size. I'm going to make a necklace out of one of those. That is so pretty. So that's a lovely little horse conch. And a lightning whelk. You'll do. Yep. You're fine. A little bit of beach stuff. You'll have a date with the bleach as well. So lightning whelk and little Florida horse conch. Gorgeous. So I do try to look past the fighting conchs. Just trip me up, and in my brain it's kind of hard. I'm looking beyond, all the fighting conchs, and for this time I spied a Florida cone, but it can be really overwhelming. There's just so much visually going on. Pop back up on the beach. Oh, that is cool. So that's a colorful moon snail, but look at how wrinkly it is. It looks wrinkly. Oh, that's neat. Okay, another colorful moon snail. So is this one? Yep. Color's a little weird because there is another shell down here. This particular shell just has another coloration, and they say that it's another species, but I think it's just a different color. That alphabet cone is pretty awesome. That is one of those desirable shells. Pretty good. It's a little on the orange side. It's got a little crease in it, but still a nice looking alphabet cone. Ooh, that one's a little weird. I do like a good weirdo shell, but I'm really more interested in something albino. So I am still on the hunt for that elusive albino lettered olive. What did I see? Oh, another little top snail. Oh my gosh, there it is. Look at that. Baby's ear. It's a little green. But again, that will just have a little bit of a date with the bleach. Awesome. So do not worry about beach stuff and green stuff. If your shell is whole, you can probably clean it up. Oh, a little periwinkle. So that is a mangrove periwinkle without that little piece of bark on it now. Now those I will show you later in the video. They kind of live on trees, so they're not really true like sea snails. I'll show you in a little while. So that's a mangrove periwinkle. Okay, we're at the woody part of the beach. Oh, a common nutmeg, and this one's not broken. Nice, nice size, nice color. Yeah, and typically they're actually pretty hardy shells. The nutmeg. Do like them. Is that? Oh, it's not a horse conch. That is a true tulip. So the true tulips, I know they look a lot in the shape like the banded tulips, but they're just, I don't know. I mean, the colors are going to be different. The banded tulips are always kind of that white and mottled color. Not always with the true tulips. That's a nice looking moon snail, also known as a shark eye. And that would be considered a Paul Newman shark eye because it's got a little blue eye. Very nice moon snail. All right, what is here other than the fighting conchs? That's what I'm trying to tell my brain. What is here other than the fighting conchs? What is here? Oh, there it is. It's an alphabet cone. Do not use your thumb to try to get that stuff off. You may cut your thumb. So that is why I'm not doing that. I had to learn the hard way, so I took one for the team. That is an alphabet cone, which is pretty awesome. Oh, and an aggressive spiny jewel box that also, it's just going to hang out with everybody else in that bleach. So there's going to be a big bleach party at the end of this video. Yep, and you're going to go in that bleach. I see. Yep. This one too. Yep, no problem. We already have some people going there anyway. So that is a hinge spiny jewel box. Yes, the bleach will likely ruin that hinge. It's possible, so I got to make my choice. Do I want it white or do I want it hinged? I'm probably going to go for the white. So I'm in the cone zone / trip strip. And there's fighting conchs everywhere, which is amazing. But like I said, my brain, I love them so much. It's hard for me to kind of see beyond them. All right. So there is a banded tulip. Kind of that same shape as a true tulip, but it's got those dark bands on it. Those are still, they are fun to find. The banded tulip. Here's another one. Now look at this one. So the first one we picked up, brown, it's got brown stripe. Look at this one. The orange one's got orange stripes on it. Yeah, so the orangish banded tulips are going to have orangish stripes. All the other ones are going to have that darker, like brown, black color. Kind of cool. And if you were thinking that is an awesome true tulip, you would be right. Oh, all right. The aperture is a little broken, but that's a gorgeous true tulip. If you wanted to, you could probably take a nail file, just kind of file it down. I have done that with a, oh, another gorgeous true tulip. Oh, and I don't have to fix it. As I was saying, take a nail file and just file the shell a little bit. I mean, you could, oh, that's gorgeous. So that's another true tulip. And I filed down an angel wing, just to make it kind of straight. Oh, look at how weird and lumpy that is. Oh, that's neat. So that is a common nutmeg, very pointy, kind of lumpy. Oh, pretty. And yeah, colorful moon snail. All right, let's take a look at these. Oh, they're very nice. I do like the very rich colored ones. I can appreciate the other ones, especially if they're different, but look at that, beautiful. So there's another one of those orange looking banded tulips, and it's got the orange bands on it. Yeah, not like that one. It's got the dark bands on it. It's kind of neat. So when I kind of find those kind of things, I'm going to pass that along to you all. And whew, I am having a fabulous time, but I've been talking a lot. I think I'm going to be quiet and let you all enjoy some beach time. Yay! All right, don't worry about the beach stuff. Like I said, the shell is a little bit beat up, but once I put that in bleach, it's going to be so pretty. Yep, so that is a lovely horse conch with a little bit of beach stuff. Shark eye. So that's another moon snail, also known as a shark eye. Yep, packed full of sand. Terrific. That means that there's no critters in there. Mostly worried about the, oh no, well, that's a crown conch. Yep. Sometimes I just like to, I don't know why. I know I'm not going to keep it. Just want to kind of check it out. I'm going to keep that. Awesome looking shark eye. Another true tulip. Okay, today I think is the most true tulips I've ever found in one day, because they are relatively uncommon. Not really rare, but just uncommon. Not these. The Florida cones. Still awesome. I don't really pass them by. I pretty much collect all of them. Not very uncommon though. I just like them. There's no wrong way to go shelling. No way. Yeah, all right. It's broken. So that is another true tulip. Nope. Womp womp. Oh, we'll do an exchange. No, never mind. I'm going to leave that here too. I don't think I need to worry though. I bet you there's probably a couple other seashells here that are okay to check out. Now that is a paper fig. It's got that spiral. It's got kind of like hash marks vertically and horizontally. It's very thin. So that's your paper fig. And here we have a bucket list shell. That is a rose murex. Yep. That is a bucket list shell for me. All of the ones I have found are in the same little container just because those are rare. That is a bucket list shell. The condition's okay. It's fine. It's got a little bit of a tail. I've seen them prettier. If it was the tail was a little bit longer, you can get white and look a little black on it. That's still an excellent, excellent shell to find. The rose murex. That is not excellent to find, but I will remove that from the island. Anytime I see garbage that I can handle and carry with me, I will grab that. That just happens to be a really pretty top snail. Oh, the color on that. Normally it's kind of monochromatic, like it's all kind of the same color, and that one's got little patches on it. So yeah, that's the kind of nuances to these shells I kind of notice. Right, this angel wing, nothing particularly special. It's still pretty awesome if you ask me. It's in one piece. That angel wings will have that texture all the way from end to end on the shell. Ooh, another. Oh, that's a really nice one, like a little itty bitty, nice looking juvenile Florida horse conch. Nice orange color on it. Woohoo! So this is a little bit better shelling than normal. So I'm gonna give this like a big thumbs up. That is an alphabet cone, which is pretty awesome. Oh, right next to a broken angel wing. I'll leave that and hold on to. Now that black stuff, that's periostracum. The animal kind of covers itself with stuff. Not the Florida cone though. I don't usually see periostracum on the Florida cone. And okay, another colorful moon snail. Now, see that white like layer on it? That's calcium. That will come off if you were to like dip that in acid and or put some sort of oil on the shell. So you can get rid of that layer. Just depends on kind of how you like to take care of it. Jingles. So this is the jingle patch. They're also known as baby's foot. And actually a viewer told me about that because if you look on the reverse, looks like a little baby's foot there. And sure does. Now that's probably where the animal attaches itself to the shell. That's where you get that little coloring. Okay, another ribbed cantharus. I have some bonus barnacles. Now the barnacles, they kind of look like a volcano, like it's like empty. You're good. There's no critter in there. If it doesn't look like that, there could still be a viable animal. So maybe leave that at the beach. I know you know that is a lace murex. Yeah, even a little tiny bit of a pink top. Pretty shell. Now this shell, I remember this one too. This is a crown conch. And it's just like a muted color. So it's not really, I guess it looks faded, but to me, it just looks muted and beautiful. Yeah, there's just something really pretty about that shell. Maybe it's even one of those like albinistic, even though, you know, because the color was kind of light. So I did battle with this bag. I was going to win though. Like I said, if I come across garbage that I can carry off the beach, I will do so. So I battled with the bag. I was victorious and that bag will be coming off of the island. I did it again. Whoops, I did it again. I picked up a finding conch and found about 30 things that I loved about it. So it had to go in my shell bag. So I can't help it though. Sometimes I can't even not pick it up. So yeah, I do have a rather large collection of fighting conchs. Oh, that's a nice looking apple murex. Oh, really nice looking apple murex. So, yep. It's been a great day for those apple murex shells. Oh, lettered olive almost got whisked back out to sea. Now, the lettered olive, like I said earlier, I am still looking for my albino. It's special if you find those that are also a yellow color. They call them a golden olive. It's kind of fun. Oh, I was going to say horse conch. Well, it's the very, very top of a horse conch shell. A common nutmeg. Another nice looking nutmeg. Found a couple today. Terrific. It's got its little point. Now, this banded tulip, to me, it just looked really, really pink. So yes, I couldn't resist. I always pick up the Florida cones. I can't help it. It's compulsion. But this pink banded tulip, I just thought was so pretty because it's not, I don't usually see them that color. It's a little, and it's even like broken a little, but I liked the color. So I held on to that pink banded tulip. Ooh, drat. It's a lightning whelk, but I probably will not keep that, but holy cow, look at that. Oh man, the zigzags go from top to bottom over the entire shell. Now it's dry, it's old, It's got some pits in it, even a hole. I don't care. I've never seen one that was so zigzaggy top to bottom. Awesome. The zigzaggy fighting conch. Oh my goodness. Look at the size of that colorful moon snail. That is massive. Yep, that is definitely, I think, the biggest one I've ever personally seen before. Look at it compared to like a quote unquote normal size Gaudy nautica or colorful moon snail. Wow. So I put this in my special collection box. The Gaudy nauticas will grow up to about 2 inches long. So I measured that one's not even 1.5 inches. So that means somewhere out there could be one even bigger. I'm going to add that to the bucket list. A big, giant Gaudy nautica. And here we have a paper fig, another one. Again, it's got those vertical and horizontal kind of like hash marks on it. Kind of flat on top. Kind of thin. A lovely paper fig. And then next, this is the pear whelk, which sometimes people get the pear whelk and the paper fig a little bit mixed up. I get it. Learning shells and identifying them is not that easy. It took me forever. Look at this pile. In the beginning, it would have taken me about a month to figure out what these shells are, but I have been doing it for a little while, so I learned a thing or two. Looks like at this point I have turned around, so I'll be heading back toward the north end of the island after I grab this true tulip. Yeah, it was a great day for true tulips here. I'm taking a look at the tide chart. So high tide was at 9:45. Right now it's 10:09. So now the tide will start going out. And as you can tell, it didn't matter. Kice is one of those islands, it just sometimes doesn't matter. This lovely Florida prickly cockle with that nice pretty purple interior, that matters. I will grab that now. I just wanted to show this to you. This is a crown conch. I mean, that would have been huge. Like I actually have seen a critter. We're going to see that, I think it's in 2 weeks, we're going to see a huge live crown conch. But I just like imagining what that would have been like. So I was poking around in there and I found this, and this is a cloudy periwinkle. So there's your mangrove periwinkles, your cloudy periwinkles. Earlier we found that mangrove. That is a cloudy, and that, look at that cute little thing. So that's also a cloudy periwinkle. And they tend to hang out near the splash zone of trees. So they're not really a sea snail. They're not really like a tree snail. Here is another shot of some of them. Those little white dots. Those are the periwinkles. And I wasn't kidding about the splash zone. So there they are, happily hanging out. Yep, that's their jam, kind of that splash zone. So the shells are really actually kind of hard to find because they're either in the water or they're very light shells. So those periwinkle shells are not really all that easy to find. Speaking of shells that are not that easy to find, depending on the conditions, a Wenzel trap. Yes. Now I've had shots here where I'll see broken pieces or I'll see them in the background and it was just looking a little Wenzel trappy for me. So I decided to look for them and lo and behold, there one was. So it's going to be messy if you're looking for them. It's going to have a lot of stuff on the beach and the bubbles, even though the bubbles weren't here. But yeah, hard to believe I found a Wenzel trap. Yep, pretty cool. They're here as well. All right, so here we have a little Florida horse conch. And that's a periwinkle, one of those little cloudy periwinkle shells. Whoopsie, what do we got here? All right, I think that's a dusky cone. I've been calling that a jasper cone, but I actually think that that's a dusky cone. That is a little Florida fighting conch. That's I think that's an eastern drill. Eastern oyster drill, is that what that's called? What else we got? All sorts of little things. So that is a little button snail. That's another little drill of sorts. So depending on what you're looking for, you could have had a pretty good time with the tinies too. I almost missed that baby's ear number 2. Yay! And it only took about 57 seconds to kind of just find all those little treasures in this little pile. Uh-oh. Okay. Excellent. That's going to get my garbage total really kind of up there. So that is going to go in my shell bag, and that's coming off the island as well. And just in case you're wondering why I'm washing it off, I just don't want to carry the sand around. Oh, another lace murex. Can't leave that behind. Oh, it's nice and lacy too. Awesome. Beautiful little lace murex. I'm telling you, Kice with the lace and those colorful moon snails. Oh, yay! A calico clam. A hinged one at that. So this is one of our designer clams. We have very fancy clams down here in Southwest Florida. So that is a calico clam. Very fancy. Oh, another angel wing. Yep, that is going on a date with bleach with all of the other shells. Terrific. Oh, now here I saw something very orange, and I really wanted to, yep, I wanted to see it a little closer. Whoa. Oh, that's so pretty. So that's just a calico scallop, a very, very, very orange calico scallop. I was busy. There was stuff to see here. I'm going to give, today was really an exceptional shelling day. Better than I really should have had this time of year. It's fantastic. And then coming home, we got to see dolphins just for a short second, but the bottlenose dolphins love to play in the wake of the boat sometimes. Check the left side. There they are. Oh, it's just incredible. So fun. So that is going to wrap up my trip of Kice Island. Garbage, I removed 13.55 ounces of garbage. In total, I removed just a little over 39 pounds of garbage from beaches. And wowzer, there were shells. All right, we have some calico clam, the hinged angel wings. We got some jingles there, the Florida prickly cockles, some of those banded tulips, which are always nice. The Florida fighting conchs, which I cannot resist. There were so many true tulips there. Great day for true tulips. We got pear whelks, one turkey wing, a Florida worm snail. We got that paper fig, calico scallops, pile of tinies. We have some lightning whelks there, some of the lettered olives, Florida cones. Can't resist those. We have some shark eyes from the moon snail family. The lace murex were awesome. The apple murex were awesome. We have some top snails there on the left. The colorful moon snails. Awesome. The ribbed cantharus. All those spiny jewel boxes. They were aggressive. It was awesome. And then we have some of the alphabet cones, the common nutmegs. I liked that pink banded tulip. Then the horse conchs, that big apple murex. The babies ears, the rose murex, that giant colorful gaudy, that crown conch, that really pretty top snail. There were so many. And the Wentel trap. How could I miss the Wentel trap? Wow, that was fun. I mean, way funner than I usually have this time of year. It was super awesome. So that was fantastic. Big shout out to SWFL Shell Guide for giving me my trip there. I will put a link in the description box below for you if you were going to take such a fun trip like this. And Patreons who've been scrolling across your screen, thank you. Thank you so very much for supporting me. Next week, we're going to Fort Myers Beach. We're going to talk about how to get there, how not to get there, what I found, and probably we're going to revisit that hurricane again. It just keeps on giving. So until then, I hope you have yourself a great week, and I will see you again next Sunday.